afternoon. Just doing a little bit of troubleshooting, of course, today in an attempt to have a clean and clear broadcast, Connect the Dots, which is every Monday at 10 to 11 a.m. We had, unfortunately, some technical issues, so I wanted to just try to recap some of the stuff here for those of you, some content that may have been missed, to afford you an opportunity to see some of the content I had available for you guys to be able to see. Of course, the program this morning was about structure, of course, consisting of various different things, and I believe I may not have been able to share that with you guys, but I wanted to share just a little bit of details with you guys in terms of the infrastructure and what we discussed on the radio this morning. And as I indicated, I started out in discussing the topic this morning was supposed to be infrastructure, which consists of roads, airports, ports, railways, which is your mass transportation here in the U.S. Virgin Islands, energy, utilities, education, healthcare, and even so, in terms of the horse racing facility that we have here in the Virgin Islands, which when you talk about enhancing your that includes the social as well, and there should be no exclusion. So the topic this morning was about the progress that we have been witnessing here in the U.S. Virgin Islands that I wanted to rehash with you on in terms of a little recap. But let me go back. It was I believe it was last Monday, where I brought Coral World, which is an attraction here in the U.S. Virgin Islands, to share with you guys, because I thought that it was important that we start to even promote some of our local product, promote some of our local activities that we have here in the U.S. Virgin Islands to offer persons that are visiting. So I had a young lady that came into the program who is one of the GMs or managers over there on the new Dolphin Aquarium, and I wanted to just share some of the comments that she provided us.
So this afternoon we went and saw our green sea turtles as we came in, our 24-year-old sisters. After that we went down to our shark pool where we have lemon sharks and nurse sharks that are in a Head Start program for their safety when they're young. We saw our other two green sea turtles that have lived here at Coral World for their entire lives and are non-releasable due to the fact that they cannot survive on their own. We also saw the Undersea Observatory, which is the first thing that was ever built here at Coral World. That is a building that is sunk down to the sea bottom, but everything outside of the windows is completely free to come and go, which is also where we have our sea trek and scuba activities that guests can get into the water out on the natural reef. We then came back up through the park to our mangrove and stingray area. We went into the marine gardens where we have our coral outplanting and fragmentation project, where we are actually helping to repopulate our natural reefs, which are having an issue with a stony coral tissue loss disease that is impacting the natural reefs. So our nonprofit is actually working to get those corals back out into the wild. We also went and visited our Caribbean Reef Encounter, which is our aquarium that has other larger animals that you can find here naturally on the Caribbean Reef. And we met our turtle, who's here short-term with us, who is named JR. JR is part of our rehabilitation program and has been here since October of 2020. JR came here after being hit by a boat because he has a buoyancy disorder, and we've been treating him here at Coral World ever since. We also visited our dolphin facility, the Dolphin Center, and got program with Noelani, our 11-year-old Atlantic bottlenose dolphin that lives out in the dolphin habitat with 5 other dolphins here at Coral World.
Yes, I wanted to just share and do a little recap for you guys that some of the stuff that you actually missed on the previous program, and as I indicated, we were experiencing some technical issues down at WSTA, and we're hopeful that we get back up to get back to some level of normalcy where we can actually do the broadcast live for you, the people of the Virgin Islands, on both traditional radio and over on social media, onto the different social media platforms. But one of the things we also discussed, and this is a recap as I indicated, one of the things we also discussed was infrastructure today. That was the topic of today's program. And I wanted to just share with you one of a particular area of concern, which is the horse racing facility that many of us would agree is one of the wealthiest traditions that we have in the Virgin Islands. Talking about carnival races, talking about the Triple Cup, you're talking about all types of major horse racing on the major holidays that we celebrate here in the Virgin Islands. And I wanted to give you and share with you also some footage that I was able to get of that facility with an overlay of audio for you to hear just a slight description of that particular.
The Clinton Phibbs Racetrack, once a social facility hosting major horse racing events in the Virgin Islands, remains in total disrepair. A recent visit left me distraught on the little regard those in positions of power feel about passion of our forefathers. Some of the most memorable names: Sabata, Computer, Expectation, Hell Broke Loose, Corporate Affair, Bold Florence, were just but and add more history in this time of social needs. Our passion for horse racing should never die. Our passion and desire to resurrect it must be the catalyst of its rebirth. Yes, Virgin Islanders, horse racing is considered a part of our infrastructure. This social event provides opportunities for those who unequivocally love the sport with an economic value. We should not allow our passion and love for horse racing to die from the gross neglect and ignorance displayed by those in power. We must elevate our voices and demand of our infrastructure.
Yes, I wanted to share that with you guys because that was actually part of the discussion this morning on Connected Arts in terms of infrastructure. Because we know infrastructure is schools, hospitals, roadways, and other respective areas, and in this instance, social facilities is also considered a part of our infrastructure. And I just wanted to go over that discussion and rehash what we discussed and Connected Arts this morning. That was interrupted by is still actually with connectivity. Anyway, until next Monday, hopefully we'll have the internet service and everything up.